Here at MLO, 2023 has proven to be the year of the Tundra. With 2 flatbed Tundra 4-wheel campers under our belt, we had this new platform all figured out. To our surprise, we were about to embark on our 3rd truck, with some familiar faces on their way to our shop, both nervous and eager to take a step forward from their current expedition vehicle, which we'd completed back in 2019. Mak and Owen of BoundForNowhere arrived at our Westchester, PA shop with their 2023 Tundra TRD fresh off the showroom floor, and within a matter of minutes our technicians were already tearing into it, ready to take this truck to a whole new level. Stay tuned for an in-depth tour as we take you through the build process and detailed aftermarket upgrades we threw with this Tundra to make it the perfect expedition vehicle and new home on wheels for BoundForNowhere.
And action. Hi, my name is Mak.
And I'm Owen.
And we are BoundForNowhere in all the places on the internet.
Every single one.
Every single one. But no, seriously, we have been living and working full-time on the road for the last, I think it's 7.5 years now. And over the course of that time, we have been in a litany of vehicles. Do you care to share what all we have traveled in?
We have been in a 1985 Volkswagen Vanagon, a 1985 Toyota Sunraider, a 2008 Toyota Tacoma, and a 2019 Tundra with a 4-wheel camper.
Ba-ba-da-ba! And now we're in a 2023 Toyota Tundra. Pew, pew, pew. But over the course of the last 7.5 years, we have traversed all over North America. We took to the road because we wanted to be closer to the things that inspire our work. And we do a whole bunch of stuff, I guess, for work.
Yeah.
Photographers, videographers.
Yeah, we started off as designers, and now we've kind of evolved more into doing more video-based stuff and going from just nature and outdoors into like car stuff now and travel, and we're doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. But the whole point was to be closer to the things that inspired us, and I think that we knew that happiness was the most important thing to us, and so we've just decided from the get-go that it was really important that we make every decision in our life in an aim of being as happy as humanly possible, and so that has kind of formed every decision over the last 7.5 years, which is how we have gotten here. The focus had just become getting our vehicles running and not actually us or anything that we were doing on the road, and that just, in that moment, we realized how backwards that was.
Well, doesn't that sound familiar? Our previous clients, Tight Loops Fly, also experienced many setbacks with their beloved VW Vanagon Bullwinkle. While the aesthetics and relatively cheap maintenance of an older vehicle is appealing, setbacks like breakdowns and constant fixes can really take a toll on enjoying or even making life on the road possible.
And so there was a recalibration that needed to happen. So ipso facto, we ended up at Mainline and pitched the idea of like, what would it look like if we bought a new truck and did a 4-wheel camper?
Matt answered all of our questions and made us feel so much better about the whole situation, and just reassuring us that this thing's gonna be bulletproof. We can make it however you want it to be.
Well, it was just nice for maybe the first time in our however many years we had been on the road, there was somebody else that we could ask for help, and it didn't all fall back on our terrible knowledge of Volkswagen vans. So it was just nice to have the confidence of experience behind a vehicle, behind a build. So we left, we talked it over, and we started that build the day that we took the ferry to Newfoundland. And 9 months later, we moved into that truck, straight out of our Tacoma and into the flatbed Tundra, the 2019 Tundra.
We got basically the cheapest model we could get that had 4x4, and Mainline tore it apart.
And made it into an absolute weapon.
Yeah.
And I have to say that our time in that build gave us our life back. Over the course of the last 4 years, no longer were we spending so much time keeping vehicles running, and that's time that we've been able to invest in our business, our work, our personal lives. We've gotten to travel a lot more away from our vehicle, I don't know where we would be, frankly, if we had not made this decision. We probably would not be on the road, if I'm being honest with myself about how things were going before that. So yeah, we're endlessly thankful, and so we're happy to be here doing it all over again.
With Mak and Owen's new Tundra up on our lift, it was finally time to begin the teardown, our first step being bed removal. A bit of deja vu here as we went through the same process with Tight Loops Tundra, but now we know exactly what we're working with once we get down to the frame.
We were here 30 minutes before the truck bed was completely off. It's so efficient, and like when we're doing work, there's a lot of yelling and cussing and like frustration.
We're not yelling at each other though.
Yeah, it's more like cursing. Cursing the powers that be. Meanwhile, these guys are just like quietly going about their business.
After the bed is removed, we can dive into the essential components underneath, beginning with a new track bar and trailing arms from Dobinson's. We'll remove the factory shocks, as well as the springs, and replace them with Dobinson's rear shocks, coil springs, along with Firestone airbags and Daystar cradles to support the added weight of the Norweld tray and four-wheel camper. After a quick stop to pick up the Norweld tray specifically designed for this Tundra, we'll get it mocked up with our mounting brackets and set it into place.
Same with the flatbed too, like all of the storage is different now and much nicer and larger. We're getting an extra water tank. We're also getting the slide out drawer, which we've never had, and I just think that it's all like quality of life adjustments that help make life on the road like that much easier. Because if we're being honest, it's just not an easy way of living. There's always obstacles, and removing as many of those as possible helps make life that much better.
Once the tray is sitting flush and bolted in, wiring and boxes enter the picture. Mak and Owen went with black faceplates for these Norweld boxes, which is going to be a great complement to the color scheme you'll see later on. These Norweld boxes are watertight and dustproof, making them the perfect storage solution for keeping their backpacking essentials in good order. This box we've installed also contains an ARB twin compressor with switch for easy airing up after hitting the trails. The rear of the tray even accommodates the factory rear bumper sensors, which are installed on each side.
It will never be unscary to bring a brand new truck in and tear it seemingly limb for limb and rebuild it. But I mean, it has just been, everybody is so incredibly knowledgeable and efficient. There's no head scratching going on, which is what happens to us when we work on vehicles. Yeah. I am just really impressed. I've left this shop dirtier every single day, and I'm not touching anything than all of the techs. What is that?
Yeah.
Please explain that to me.
Moving over to the front of the truck, we're utilizing Dobinson's coilovers to give this truck the perfect stance and capability to perform with the added weight of an aftermarket front bumper and lights. While we're up front, we've also got a beautiful set of Stage 2 power brakes bolting up to this Tundra for enhanced stopping power when out in the rugged terrain. This is often an overlooked mod, but it's truly essential to keeping a heavy truck safe and under control. With a tight schedule to get this truck out to Overland Expo Pacific Northwest in the coming week, things were running smoothly. Or so we thought. The removal of the factory front bumper had begun, but we still hadn't received the new aftermarket bumper from production yet. With our time now dwindling, a decision had to be made.
Oh my god. I got it delivered Wednesday if you like.
No, we don't.
Wow,
want that.
are you trying to kill me? Yeah, I feel like this is so much nicer. Is this real life? Do we actually have a bumper?
It's been confirmed.
Fantastic.
Yeah, ship to 917 Old Fernhill
Okay.
Road.
Wow, this is just like mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So we have
Feels good.
It's Friday afternoon, and we just ordered it, and it could be here on Monday.
With this new front bumper overnighted to us, and thank God, right on time, we were back to chugging along on the front end of this rig. We got rid of that ugly chrome surround and went for a nice color-matched look, complete with the TRD grille and Baja Designs light bar hidden inside of our new front bumper. While this chrome delete was a subtle change, we think it really brings the front of the truck together.
I'll never be not nervous when someone takes a saw to your truck, but I mean, I was about as confident as I could be, knowing that it was them doing it, and yeah,
better them than me.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's so rare to be able to see people work this way. I mean, I know it's not comfortable for people to have like cameras over their shoulder while they're working, but the team has been so incredibly fun to be around. It's been a real joy. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be sad, guys, when we leave. I'm gonna be really sad.
And with 3 cameras filming the transformation of this truck, it was not only fun for us all on the media side, but also the occasional passing customer who just had to stop and grab a pic with their favorite YouTubers. At this point in the build, BoundForNowhere's Tundra is really beginning to take shape and almost developing a bit of a resemblance to its predecessor.
And having 4 years under our belt in the last one, which is very close to what this one's going to be, it just like gave us a little bit of insight into what things we needed, what things we didn't need.
There's a ton of features in here that are going to be really subtly different from our old setup, but will truly be life-changing for us because I don't think anybody spends as much time with their truck as we do. This is already so much more comfortable than just our 2019. Like the interior is so much more comfortable. The seats were made to be sat in for long periods of time. Small, subtle things like that make such a significant difference in our life. We decided to stick with the Tundra because it's an internationally available platform. I think a lot of people are always really surprised that we haven't gone with a modern diesel of any kind or gone with something bigger. But again, foreign countries have a lot smaller roads, so as small as we can stay as humanly possible is really important. Staying in gas is really important because DEF is not available in most other countries. Yeah, or it's just really hard to get a hold of. And then I think that components is really important, being able to have access to those things. Obviously, there's always going to be unforeseen issues, and to be able to get our hands on parts. There's very few car manufacturers that are available on every continent, and Toyota is one of those. So making sure that we're staying within an ecosystem so we can have access to those parts no matter where we are. I feel like we've already been getting a lot of questions about why we went with such a new unknown engine, but we had the confidence because it is going to be coming out in vehicles on other continents, all continents, I believe. So it's just an important fail-safe for us to have, just barring any catastrophic scenarios. It's good to be prepared, obviously.
We're mounting up some fresh rubber on our go-to for any overland rig, Evo Course Dakar wheels. These wheels are made in Italy and are race-proven on the grueling Dakar Rally. A proper 35-inch Toyo tire is also really going to take the look of this truck to the next level. Goodbye, stock wheels and tires. With the new shoes now on, we're finally getting down to the last bits and pieces of the build, like installing Norweld's mud flaps and a Prinsu roof rack for added storage when necessary. And just like that, we're out for the first drive in what feels like a completely different truck.
Oh, who's calling me?
More spam.
How do I hang up? I don't know how to do anything with this phone. Oh boy, you guys. I feel like I'm finally sitting with do you guys see the groundhogs?
Oh yeah.
There's so many of them.
There's one out in the open.
There's 2. Okay, should I go right? Being able to watch this truck come to life has been a real treat. We didn't get the opportunity to hang around the shop last time, and so it was a little bit of, here's this butt ugly truck. Now look at it, it's so great. And that was really, really cool and frankly very shocking, but it's been so incredible to see the process come to life. The reason why we came to Mainline, I don't know if you all know this, but you've got a reputation for being incredibly good at what you do, which is why we came here. And to be able to pay witness to what that looks like behind the scenes has been incredible. It instills so much confidence in what we are going to leave with because at the end of the day, when we're out in the middle of nowhere, that confidence can be the decision between whether or not you go somewhere. And we're trying to eliminate all hindrances possible, and so a lot of confidence.
After we're done here, we're gonna head west to Four Wheel Campers, where we're gonna get the flatbed camper put on. I think one of the big things about the new camper is with the extra power we're gonna have, it's gonna allow us even more ability to stay out there longer, because generally speaking, when we go to a camp spot, we're staying there for 3 to 5 days to really soak it in.
We also carry a pretty substantial workload in order, obviously, to make life on the road work. We have to work. And so by sitting still for long periods of time, it allows us to have a semi-normal schedule of getting work, balancing work and play, if you will, being able to get a lot of work done while also being able to enjoy the area. We're gonna have some decals put on the camper to really give us the final look. And we're gonna be taking the truck up to Overland Expo Pacific Northwest, and we're gonna kind of finish out the year on the West Coast before starting the process of shipping this big beauty to another continent. We're not exactly sure which continent yet.
To be determined.
TBD on.
Well, there's only 6 since we're already on one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we've already covered the 7th continent,
Yeah.
so.
Now well on their way out west in their new Tundra dubbed Jolene, we were eager to see the final product. As promised, Mak and Owen reached out with a little walkthrough of the new features added to the truck since their departure from us here at Mainline.
Here is the quick and dirty interior tour of our new rig, Jolene. Moving this way, so we're entering from the passenger side. We still have all of the storage that kind of fills in the space all the way to the bottom of the camper. And now inside of here for the first time is our inverter, which is wired to these plugs, which was never the case for us in our last one. Those were only working if we were in shore power. And so far we've found that the white I don't know if it's the white camper or the thermal pack, what have you, it does feel cooler inside of this camper than it did in our last one. Otherwise, the dinette is relatively the same. However, we did do one relatively significant change. This used to be a pan for our shower, the interior shower, and there was a little hookup here. We decided to eliminate that because in our 4.5 years in this vehicle, we only used it twice. Under here is all shoe storage, aka almost all bed racks. The appliances are different than the ones that we had, subtly. They're shifted a little bit further back on the cabinet, but otherwise, 2-burner stove, sink, refrigerator, same refrigerator we had, same Dometic heater. Like our last 4-wheel camper, all of our electrical, this is our electrical cabinet. The main shut off, the Red Arc Manager 30 is all down here. All of the electrical connections, which is nice. It's all in one place. And then the water tank sits back here, obviously out of sight. The bed is the same size. We still have a ton of storage under the bed. I do believe they've upgraded the gas struts. I've been meaning to ask them about that. We also now have 2 MaxxAir fans. We had, I guess they were Dometic fans before, and they've gone over to the the MaxxAirs. They're so much better. They're quieter, they have more speeds. We enjoy working with them a lot more. Okay. This is and was our battery cabinet, but what is in here is different than last time. This now completely comes off. It did not do that before. And we went from having 200 amp hours of lithium to 405. And we went from Battleborn to Dakota Lithium. And the reason we did that is they have bigger batteries and a smaller footprint, so we can fit literally over twice the amount of storage that we had before, which is lovely. good for sitting still, cloudy days, things like that. And this, I feel like, is maybe one of the biggest upgrades in the camper in addition to the batteries. This is the Red Arc Red Vision. It is our power management system, and it is controlled by the Rogue computer, which is new for them. It's very, very small, and thankfully it does fit in here. So to turn it on, it does turn on. And the cool thing is we can turn on all of our lights. So that's the lights over our bed. These are the lights over the dinette, exterior lights, and we can control our inverter, our fans, our water pump, all sorts of great stuff. We're also able to see intake via solar and all. There's so much information here. It's really nice for us, just so we know, can keep really close tabs on everything. And there is an app, so when we get to camp at night, we can turn on the lights before we even get out of the car. And everything is fully dimmable, which it didn't used to be. And my other favorite part about this, so this little indication right here, that is our water tank. So previously we had 3 degrees of knowing how much water we had in a 4-wheel camper. So there was 3 sensors in the tank. It was full, 2/3, 1/3, and empty. So in a 20-gallon tank, there's a lot of room for error. Now we have 15 sensors, so we can really accurately understand exactly how much water we have. Very excited about that. Welcome to the driver's seat. Okay, this screen is obscene. It is so big. We didn't really have much of an option. I do believe that we just inherently got a tech package, which resulted in this massive screen. It makes us a little bit nervous to take this international and to have something that is so flashy. So I think that I'm going to ultimately build something, kind of sew something that covers this when we're not in the cab. Otherwise, it is an automatic. We do have sport mode, so you can manually switch gears yourself. And then just the other day, inside of our center console, we installed a center console safe. We like to have that for all of our important documents that we carry with us, you know, passports, things that are important for crossing borders. Otherwise, it's a Tundra. And I would say it looks and feels quite different in here, but at the end of the day, it's still just like a really lovely modernized Tundra. We've got these really beautiful seats, which we also probably wouldn't have purchased ourselves if we had an option, but now that we have them, they're really lovely. We have a heated steering wheel, we have heated seats, none of that we had before, and it's really lovely. We have Apple CarPlay, which is great as well for connecting all of our devices. But otherwise, I think that we're still just getting used to how it drives and what it feels like to have the camper on the back. But hopefully here before too long, we can give you guys a full-blown assessment of the whole completed package. All right. Thank you for that. Tuning in for this long-winded tour. We'll see you guys soon.
It's truly amazing to see just how far this truck has come in a matter of weeks. From a stock Tundra to a full-blown expedition rig, this truck now checks all the boxes for its intended use and beyond, thanks to the team here at Mainline Overland. This build would not have been possible without the expertise and precision that our technicians bring to the table time and time again on these extensive builds. The confidence instilled in such a dialed truck would surely make anyone eager to get after whatever adventure lies ahead, and we wish BoundForNowhere the best on their international travels in the coming year. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more builds like this from Mainline Overland. Thanks for watching.